First of all, congratulations. Candela was an amazing watch. Your character is quite the interesting character. Why did you choose to play this character?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. And I'm so happy that you enjoyed the film. Um, I I have a producer friend that read the script and she told me about it. She said, I think there's a character there that I think you'd be good for and that it'd be interesting for you to play.
Mhm.
So she sent me the script and I read it and I loved it. I thought it was a very strong script. It's based on a novel written by Reandujar, whom I admire as a writer. And I immediately felt connected to the to some of the themes that the script had, and I felt that the main characters, in a way, all were experiencing, which were isolation,
Mhm.
fragmentation, especially for her. I felt like she was a very fragmented and couldn't seem to find a way to put herself together. Um, Loneliness, all these themes that I found in the script were things that I gravitated towards because I felt that, first of all, as a human being, I've felt them too, but also because exploring them through a character like that definitely had a pe- peculiar and I want to say toxic way of going about it, um, really made me have to see um, maybe aspects of my own shadows that needed to be looked at in the face. So it was a great opportunity to have set out with me to be able to do that, which I thought was a phenomenal moving experience for me as an actor.
Definitely, Sera is definitely toxic, but she's also very strong. She's also very much in her own world. She is confident. She's controlling of her own world. What kind of discussions did you have with Feria, since it is his first feature film, to get into that character, to portray what his vision is, as well as what you felt you needed to bring to this character?
Well, one of the things I really enjoy about working with Andres Farias is that he has a very collaborative way of working. I feel like he has a very specific idea of what he wants, but he's not married to that one way of approaching that idea. He's very open to collaborate and explore. So the first few auditions that I had with him were long work sessions where we played around with point of view and how we saw her interacting with the world through different exercises, through different actors that came and did exercises with me. And then once we started shooting or closer to shooting, I would have conversations with him about questions that I had. I feel like more than anything, at least my process always starts with a lot of questions that I sometimes don't even have answers for, even as I'm filming, and some get answered as we go. So he was very open to exploring those questions with me and narrowing down how him and myself um, could find common ground into how we saw her navigating the world and the obstacles she was facing and the inner energy she had versus the energy in which she operated with the world, depending if it was the Sera that she showed and presented to this society that she belonged in, or the Sera that needed to express herself and her sexuality and and her sense of control in another environment, which is more like the nocturnal environment in which we see her operate.
Yes, and since this is such a complex character, she takes such a very intense trajectory to get to where the end is, and films aren't usually filmed in chronological order. How difficult, or was it an obstacle to portray all those different sides of her at different moments?
You know that I every process is different. I feel that the script really is kind of giving you clues as to how to approach things, and I feel with working to understand and get to know myself in Sera and Sera in myself. I felt that I because she had very little words, she doesn't really
Mhm.
speak that much in the film. I felt that the way in was through the body. So I did a lot of chakra work and energy work and feeling out where my energy was leading depending on the scenes and where I felt that she concentrated um that intense friction of energy inside herself. So for example, the scenes that where I felt that she was more in control or more willing to like be daring, I worked a lot with the image of a panther and how they hunt and how still they can be, but at the same time ready to attack, and how that energy felt within me to the point where I could through breath and through like feeling my body, when a scene like that would come up, I could tap into that kind of energy and be like, oh, this is the panther energy coming out, or this is a more cerebral part of her and it's more heady and she's calculating. So it really helped to place energy centers in association with the circumstances that she was living as a way to tap into them.
Definitely, and with the complexity of this character, you have to get comfortable not just with her, but with your cast members, because there's a lot of very intense scenes with them and very intimate scenes with them. How did that go about? How do you begin to get that comfort with a co-star?
I had the blessing to work with actors that some of them were already friends, and some I met on set, but well, in rehearsal. But they're wonderful artists, and above that, amazing human beings. It was a very beautiful family that was created in the process of filming Candela. So because of that, I feel that everyone involved, acting wise and not acting wise, but my experience with the other actors was very much an experience where everyone was um, open, vulnerable, respectful, available, wanting to be there for the other person. And that really makes those scenes in particular that sometimes are challenging or demanding physically or emotionally, they make them feel less intimidating because you feel that you're on the same team with that other person.
Definitely, and uh, last question, like, you did a phenomenal job as an actress. This is
Thank
such
you.
an amazing piece of work. It's uncomfortable when it needs to be, and it's very lively when it needs to be. It's very stylistic. Have you gone back and looked at it and seen what you've done, and how do you feel about it?
I saw the film a couple of times because the film went to a few festivals and I attended some of them. And the first time I see anything that I'm in, I'm a little like conflicted because I feel like you want to look at it as an like a viewer without adding to it judgment on how you would have maybe taken a different choice or this and that, and that's hard to do sometimes. But I feel that because I experienced watching the film through festivals and we had the joy of having an amazing audiences every time, the questions that the audience brought to us made every experience of watching it kind of like watching a different film in a way, because they would ask very different questions from very different angles. So it would make me look at the film with an appreciation from sides that I had not maybe thought about before. So in that sense, I haven't watched it in a while, but the many times I did watch it when it first, was doing the festival run, um, it was satisfying to see how people welcomed it and felt that and made it their own. Because in the end, that's kind of what I think we all want, that somehow you find something in the film that resonates with you and that speaks to you, or that you hate, but definitely that creates some kind of movement inside you, and that hopefully you leave the theater different than you came in. So that.
Definitely. And I watched the film 3 weeks ago, and then again last night, just to get ready for this again. And I have a different experience both times, and I feel
Oh,
like
wonderful.
yeah,
That's
I
great.
feel like the movie is very much a great murder mystery, but at the same time, it has a lot more depth to it. So, congratulations on all that. You did a phenomenal job, and I can't wait to see what else you come out in the future.
Thank you so much for having me, and for watching the film and supporting it. I appreciate it a lot.